You.
Well, honey, run.
What did I do?
What did you do? You destroyed my image.
Man, I ain't destroyed nothing.
Of course you did. Look at that story. I've got to walk into that banquet room tonight filled with people who are going to think I'm nothing but a hog-handling hick from Yamacraw.
But that is where you come from, Zeke.
Mama, I was just having a few words with Will.
And I'm having a few words with you. What have you got to be ashamed of? We always put food on the table and clothes on your back.
Mama, I'm not ashamed. There are just certain aspects of my life I don't wish emphasized.
Where I come from, they call that being ashamed. Mr. Big Shot.
Mother, you look very nice in your dress tonight. Did you enjoy the ride in the limousine, Pop?
You bet. I went down.
Hattie, aren't you going to talk at all?
Oh, come on. We're mature adults, and refusing to speak is not going to solve anything.
That's right, Uncle Phil.
I'm not talking to you.
Philip, Vivian, congratulations.
Yes, we're all quite proud of you at the office, old man.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'd like you to meet my parents, Hattie and Joe Banks, Henry and Margaret Firth.
Ma'am, would you like the salmon or the Chateaubriand?
Oh, we don't want to be a bother. We'll just hang on to these empty plates. Thank you kindly.
Hattie, are you sure you don't want any of the food?
Oh, we don't want to impose. We'll just fade into the background. Breast or wing?
Oh, I think I'd have a wing, thank you. Got any okra casserole?
Coming up.
Oh, Granny, you know how much Uncle Phil likes his mama's okra casserole. Why don't you ask him if he wants some?
It ain't gonna work, Will.
What is this interesting melange? It smells divine.
Just plain old okra and tomato, honey.
Delicious. Try that, Henry.
Outstanding. Do we have any biscuits?
I hope they're still hot.
Can I say something, please? I just know that at a time like this, my Uncle Phil is extremely happy to have his two loving parents here with him. Oh, I can feel the love at this table.
Parents. To hear him tell it, he just sprung full grown from the ground, and we ain't had nothing to do with it. Yes, he just sprung up like a big old eggplant.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir. Aren't you Philip Banks?
Yes.
Yeah, the hog-slopping lawyer. Saw your picture in the paper this morning. Is Melvin going to be here tonight?
Oh, no, Melvin eschews these type of events.
I'm the same way.
What are you doing in here, Uncle Phil?
Is this for your own information, or will this be in USA Today?
Come on, man. I'm sorry if I made you mad, but the reporter...
The first thing that ICPC have done is to segment the stakeholders in order to promote our mandate and foster the culture of integrity, transparency, accountability in Nigeria generally. So on the basis of that, we have engaged our stakeholders effectively.
People who have been established as looters, as thieves, as corrupt people, must not come near public office in Nigeria, whether at local, state, or at national level.
Welcome to Transparency Files, ICPC's weekly television program. I am Hawasani Garba. Corruption undermines trust, hampers development, and affects everyday Nigerians. This episode of Transparency Files exploits the mechanisms through which corruption flourishes in Nigeria, focusing on systemic loopholes and the absence of transparency in public and private sectors. Later in the program, we will bring you highlights from our state offices, a special segment on Know Your Act and other exciting features. But before we dive deeper into the topic, let's catch up on anti-corruption updates with Ruth Awodi. Stay tuned.
Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. I am Ruth Awodi. ICPC has arraigned two men, Ibrahim Suleiman Umar and Tijani Adam Goni, before the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Abuja, over their alleged involvement in a 4.8 million naira job scam and forgery of employment letters. The defendants were brought before Justice B.M. Bassi on a 5-count charge bordering on conspiracy, obtaining by false pretense and forgery. According to the charge sheet, the duo in June 2021 conspired to defraud two unsuspecting job seekers of 4.8 million naira under the guise of securing employment for them at the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. Investigations by ICPC further revealed that the accused persons forged employment letters purportedly issued by both CBN and FIRS, as well as a document titled Final Document List, which they presented to their victims as genuine. Their offenses contravene Section 1, subsection 1A, and are punishable under Section 1, subsection 3 of the Advanced Fee Fraud and Other Related Offences Act 2006, as well as Sections 363 and 364 of the Penal Code. When the charges were read, both defendants pleaded guilty to all 5 counts. Justice Bassi consequently ordered their remand at the Kuje Correctional Center and adjourned for continuation of hearing. Meanwhile, the first defendant in the case, Mohammed Mustafa, remains at large, with efforts ongoing to apprehend him and bring him before the court to face justice. In another development, ICPC and the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, have pledged to strengthen collaboration in ensuring compliance with guidelines for the clearance of information technology projects undertaken by federal government institutions in Nigeria. This commitment was made known when the chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, received the Director General, Chief Executive Officer of NITDA, Mr. Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi, and his management team during a courtesy visit to the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. In his remarks, Dr. Lee recalled the cordial relationship that has existed between the two agencies, assuring that the Commission would continue to provide maximum support within its mandate to promote safer digital services in government agencies as championed by NITDA.
We as ICPC, I think we believe that we need to go closer to ensure that our people know what is happening on ground, so that we ensure that our people have access to information. We ensure that there are records and things that are supposed to be done are done, so that people from all over the world, they can access what we are doing. And that will help in corruption prevention instead of us to be chasing public officers after the incident happened. It's better for us not to allow it to happen.
In his remarks, NITDA's DG, Mr. Abdullahi, explained that his visit was to seek ICPC support in ensuring government institutions comply with established guidelines for IT investments.
If citizens are online, government also needs to be online to make it citizens. And that's the only way we create transparency. And that's the only way we can also make our data available online for our national plan, as well as most of the benchmarking reports different organizations are doing. So without the data, people will consider we don't exist. So, Honorable Chairman, you mentioned that many, I can't remember the exact number of local government that don't have websites. So we are ready to support and provide a website for them free of charge. You enforce them as part of digital transparency. All local governments should have website presence. They should be able to put what they are doing online, and citizens also can contribute in.
At the end of the meeting, the two agencies agreed to establish a joint committee to develop a workable framework that will guide their collaboration and ensure concrete results. That will be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Hawa. Stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
This CV is for Eugenia here. She's here for the vacancy. See to the CV and she got the job.
Could you please wait for me at the reception? But sir.
Yes?
She studied physical and health education.
Yes?
We already shortlisted 3 qualified candidates for the job. They all studied accounting. With all due respect, sir, we need qualified people in the accounts department. People who are good with figures.
How do you know that she does not understand what figures are?
But why do we need a square peg in a round hole?
What is important here is to fill in the vacancy. Anyhow, I will take.
I can't be a part of this. That is a language of corruption. And corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. If you are tuning in, this is Transparency Files. Corruption has been a persistent challenge in Nigeria, with far-reaching negative consequences for the country's economic development. It perpetuates poverty, inequality, and social justice. Corrupt practices take many forms, from bribery, embezzlement, nepotism, and misappropriation. The effects on the economy of the country cannot be underestimated. But what enables corruption to flourish? Let's listen to Comrade Awal Musa Rafsanjani, Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, on the way forward.
There are a number of ways in which we can actually block the leakages. One is to first check to see in our legal frameworks where are the shortcomings. Do we have an enabling framework to ensure that we block leakages? If we have, can we make sure that we implement those legal frameworks? Where there are gaps, can we make sure that we legislate or through the policy framework, we come up with a policy framework that will make it impossible for these leakages to happen? People who have been established as looters, as thieves, as corrupt people, must not come near public office in Nigeria, whether at local, state, or at national level. We need to strengthen the anti-corruption agencies, give them more support and more space, and stop any political interference or deliberate starvation of those agencies from having adequate resources to carry out their work. If you establish that somebody had violated the law and you take all the necessary judicial processes to prosecute that person must not be forgiven. Because if you continue to scuttle the effort of the anti-corruption agencies. You are demoralizing them because they put their lives to get to the extent of arresting and prosecuting such kind of offenders. CISLAC, which is the National Chapter of Transparency International, and a lot of civil society organizations are working to support the effort of the government to ensure that we block leakages, we fight corruption, we educate and sensitize the public about the evils of corruption. So civil society, through their advocacy, through their research, through their public engagement, awareness and sensitization, have been complementing the effort of the anti-corruption agencies to ensure that corruption are dealt with. And civil society have been serving as also whistleblower. Civil society have been also providing credible information to anti-corruption agencies about the activities of corrupt people, especially the public officials. The whole issues of access recovery is courtesy of the tremendous contribution by civil society organizations that have continued to trace, stolen asset, ill-gotten money in Nigeria and outside Nigeria.
Welcome back. It is a well-known fact that loopholes can be exploited by individuals and organizations to evade accountability. ICPC has three-pronged mandate of enforcement, prevention, and public enlightenment and education. The Director, Public Enlightenment and Education Department of ICPC, Demola Bakare, FSI, takes us into some of the successes recorded by the Commission in the prevention against corruption. Let's take a listen.
The first thing that ICPC have done is to segment the stakeholders in order to promote our mandate and foster the culture of integrity, transparency, accountability in Nigeria generally. And our method of engaging with them, and we categorize them into three. Number one is the sensitization campaigns. Integrity outreaches, we organize integrity outreaches, we do behavioral change, lectures. And when the National Ethics and Integrity Policy came on board, so we put that into training modules too. So we have been having series of sensitization outreaches, lectures and workshops for anti-corruption clubs, for anti-corruption vanguards in tertiary institutions, for youth and women groups, for traditional leaders and traditional organizations, for religious leaders and religious organizations, for even actors in MDAs. Those are part of our stakeholders. Business management organizations and professional bodies too. They are all included in our stakeholder categories that we have tailor-made lectures and sensitization programs for. The second one is through collaboration and partnership with various organizations, including the judiciary, the legislature, the civil society organizations. And the executive. I can talk about the collaboration with NITDA in order to promote anti-corruption technology. We can use technology to fight anti-corruption. So technology development, NITDA, we have collaboration and partnership with them. We have collaboration with the Ministry of Interior, in order to strengthen the service delivery, effective service delivery, such as procurement of passport, for instance. We have collaboration with them so that the ethical quotients of delivering that service to members of the public will greatly improve. The health sectors, we had a seminar and we are about to sign an MOU with the Federal Ministry of Health in order to be able to track disbursement of resources to health centers all over the country. So on the basis of that, we have engaged our stakeholders effectively.
I am a Nigerian. a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption. And with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
Welcome to the Know Your Act segment. How well do you know the offenses and punishment as encapsulated in the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Act 2000? Unfortunately, many Nigerians are unaware of the law, and ignorance of the law is never an excuse in the court of law. We spoke to a legal experts from ICPC's legal department who explained Section 8 of the Act, its offenses and punishment. Don't fall short of the law. Watch this.
The Section 8 of our Act is actually the beginning of the offenses section of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Act 2000. And for good reason, the offense of gratification or bribery, as it's commonly called, is the beginning of the offenses section, and that's provided for in Section 8 of the Act. And that's because the Act is a specialized law dealing with official corruption and related matters. The section is quite broad, but the main provision of the section is the offense or created the offense of receiving or obtaining any property either for himself or for someone else or on behalf of someone else by a public officer. Now, what this means is that if, as a public officer, I work in a government department where maybe employment is to be given or admission is to be given or license is to be obtained, and I either collect money from someone to do that or to refrain from doing something, then if it is established that I've collected that money either by myself or through someone else, then I could be charged under this section. So people who promise employment to others, vulnerable members of the public, may be tried under this section. Now, when people are arrested, or being investigated under this section, some of them may want to be smart. They tell you, yes, I received money, but this money was a loan given to me by this person, or it was for something else. Now, subsection 2 provides, a guide on that. Subsection 2 says that if such a person or such a promise is made and the person, is investigated, then it is not a defense that, okay, I took this money on behalf of this person because of something else. Except that person or that something else is established by credible evidence, it is presumed that that money was collected fraudulently or corruptly, and the person will be tried. And it is also possible for some persons to say, well, I collected this money, but I did not eventually do what I promised to do. That, again, is taken care of under subsection 3. It says that it is not a defense when somebody says, okay, I collected this money to do this, but I eventually didn't do it. So all this put together make up Section 8. That's offense of bribery and the punishment of 7 years imprisonment.
As we prepare to round up on today's edition, let us join Khadija Ibrahim with reports from our state offices.
A report from Sokoto State reveals that the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Shintema Binga, sensitized the Governing Council of the Federal University of Agriculture, Zuru, on ethics and accountability during a one-day retreat in Birnin Kebbi. Mr. Binga emphasized the importance of transparency and due processes in the university governance. He urged the council members to uphold ethical leadership, strengthen oversight, and promote accountability to curb corruption and build public trust. Coming from Katsina State, ICPC has sensitized and inaugurated the Student Anti-Corruption Club at Lawal Dang Halilu Memorial Community Secondary School. Mr. Sani Tukur Taroni urged the students to uphold strong morals and reject all forms of corruption. He also encouraged them to be exemplary role models and good ambassadors for their parents, school, and the ICPC, working towards a better future. Coming from Benue State, the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Mustafa Abubakar Wala, led a team to pay a courtesy visit to the Commissioner of Lands, Survey, Urban and Regional Planning, Dr. Frederick Ikian, to strengthen partnerships in the fight against corruption. Mr. Wala highlighted areas of collaboration, including system reviews, corruption risk assessments, and public sensitization, stressing the need for multi-stakeholder efforts. Dr. Ikian commended ICPC's preventive approach and pledged support for the collaboration. Similarly, the resident anti-corruption commissioner of Enugu State, Mr. Kabir Elelu, led a team to pay a courtesy visit to the zonal commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps of the state as part of efforts to strengthen interagency collaboration in the fight against corruption. The zonal commander, Mr. Anthony Ekuma, warmly welcomed the delegation and pledged continued cooperation to curb corruption and promote ethical conduct across the states.
Corruption is a complex issue that thrives through loopholes and lack of transparency. We can work towards creating a more accountable and transparent society. Join us next time as we explore more anti-corruption news. And that's it for today's episode. Don't forget to watch Transparency Files every Friday at 6:30 p.m. on the NTA network and international. Also follow us on our social media platforms as shown on the screen. Till next week, join us again for another insightful edition of the program. I am Hawasani Garba saying, bye for now.
Assalamu alaikum masu kallo da saurare. Sunana Umar Ibrahim Inkiya Umar Top 9. Ku ci gaba